Hi everyone, it's Jen from Mindseye. We're going to do the weekly live reading with me. And we're going to see exactly what happens when you just can't do done. And when you can't do done, you just can't even do anything at all. So when I say it comes right out, it just comes right out. You know, it really hurts. We can't do it done. It means, when you have this Knight of Swords, it really is an undercut. It really is a halt stop. It really is everything that you just can't do. It's anything that you can't even do, like with ghosting or a ghost drink or anything like a ghost wear, that you can't even see, like where to swear to underwear to anything of that degree, where it really is a point of grace to a point of line, where you can't even get the balance. That's temperance. You can't even work your skills or your magic or anything the way you speak about yourself. It really is skilled work, though. You have to show your skill. And then you see this. It's supposed to remain a mystery. Like, it's supposed to come out during this time. And it really comes out, like, during a pause. And I have to say that is true to a degree, but you just can't even, like, see it coming. All of a sudden, it's like, it's just right there. And you're like, how did you do that? How did you do that? You just couldn't even see it whatsoever. So when I look at it and I go, no, there's something that's going to cause chaos really soon that you just can't see it coming. And you can't even believe it. But it really is like this type of rest. Like I was saying last night in the weekly update, that it is something that is coming in as rest. And you're sitting there and you might be recovering from maybe illness or COVID or something like that. Or maybe you're just taking a break and you're sitting with family and friends and you're just going about and you're looking at the media and you're looking at the news or whatever. And you go, why is this like a lack of anything? We've been here before, this type of feeling. When I say this, I say it's really unhappy when it comes in. And I say it really wasn't a master skill or anything like that. Like you sit there and you go, but the communication about it actually comes through. When I see it on the ticker tape. I see it right as it comes through. You're sitting as it comes in, as like politics or law enforcement or military dignitaries coming in, and you say, what is going on? There's a lot of visitation going on. When I see this and I see the Two of Wands in reverse, you say, you can't even believe it. You couldn't even see it coming whatsoever. That this Knight of Wands comes in, and it really is not passionate. It really is just kind of this humbug feeling. But there's this logic that is coming through. And when I see it, and I see it right on the table, and it's really pertinent to the day and to the paper on the table, you have to say it has something to do with law enforcement, has something to do with military and legal contracts. But I mean, that's just so old. It really is. So let's dig a little bit deeper, because there's a lot building up in a lot of these things every day, especially when it comes to the deep dives. What do we need to know? I mean, we had the DEA bust of this return to sender, that you couldn't believe the mockery of it. But it really was a walking away to a turning point where you looked at it and it says there's this emotional offer that comes in on this table. And it comes in and it says it really completes everything the way it needs to be. So when I see it and it has this halt stop, that you can't even be it whatsoever. It is a winds of change. It really is something that is a force of a turbulent change, of a move on. But you kind of have to listen to the winds almost to hear the message. So when I see this and I see the strength, the weakness in reverse, that you can't even believe, this Four of Wands in reverse comes in and goes, There's no celebration. Like, there's no getting together. There's no, like, being about it. But we foresaw it coming. That's the Three of Wands. When I look at this and I say, this Three of Cups actually comes in and says, no, like, you can't, like, get together. You can't even be in much. Is this universal precautions? There's something coming in that's big that you can't believe comes in through. So I'm looking at this and I'm saying, like, did this really happen? This is what I'm seeing as a psychic, as this, like, as like continuance on every day, every night, depending on what the show is. It really has come to this point. When I'm seeing the Queen of Pentacles, it really is secure. It really is knowing what it is and saying, I'm 100% correct. I already know. You couldn't even believe it. The Seven of Swords in reverse is not a takeaway. There's no sneaking around about it. And when I see it and I see this Four of Cups, I say, you just have to sit on the couch and be a little discontented. It has a lot of honor. Whatever is coming in has a lot of honor. And when I see it and I say this Knight of Pentacles in reverse goes, oh my gosh, you couldn't even, like, get the roads ready. You couldn't even do anything whatsoever. Because when I see it confirmed, they're coming in and they're coming home. You couldn't even believe what would happen. It's hostages. Hostages are coming home. That was such work of skill that you couldn't even believe how hard it was to be like that. I couldn't even see it. What else? I mean, we have been seeing it in the media, but it really is a big deal because we're not to know how long they've been like that, but they literally have, because they saw it, they heard it, they felt it, and they just hunkered down and just did it. So when I see a 350 review, I have to say it is an alleviation of disappointment. It really is a liberation to be celebrated. Unknown date and time, don't worry. But when I see this and I say, the Three of Swords comes in, and I say, I'm even seeing it right now in my, like, the energy of this, everything. I can't even see it or sue it. You can't even file a lawsuit. You can't do anything except just welcome them home and let them rest. It literally means that you can't even be it hard enough. When I see this and I see the King of Pentacles, that you can't even believe it. You can't. It means they sit well. They sit secure. They sit, like, with it's free. Don't worry. It's free. It's free. When I see this and I say, you can't even believe it's wishes fulfilled, you won't even believe who's there. You won't even believe who's there. Now, am I playing on emotions? No. This was well prudent. This is well planted. This was well manifested. When I see this and I see the Queen of Swords, there's no logic or cutting away. You sit there and you say, I can't believe that. I can't believe that. When I see this and I see the Hermit and I see it in reverse, that you can't even believe it whatsoever. This, like, lack of solitude to no solitude to severe isolation. You have to say it was a free will choice. It was not. It was not. I swear sometimes it can be right underneath your nose, and it can be right underneath your chin, right to your ear, and you want to go up and down, but really it's right here. And when I look at it, I'm blinking. You say, what are they doing? They're blinking. Why are they blinking a lot? I just don't know. I just don't know. So when you look at this and you say, oh my God, are you illusional or delusional? Nope, I'm secure. I am secure. It really comes in through and through, all in all. When you look at this and you say, this has so much misogyny and dishonor, what had come through just by winds of change, wind currents. You couldn't hear it, see it, or feel it, but everyone else went, got it, and they went and they did it. It really comes in as like a end of like a high difficulty road, because you can see her with this oxen in her bags, and it's a difficult dirt road uphill a mountain. But really, it does help. But when you look at this and you say this monetary, like financial loss is huge, huge, just by going to the bathroom. So when I look at it, I say that's real. That's absolutely real. But what else is coming in anew? I definitely see a crash. Multiple, as we had said, there was something. We heard it, we felt it, we saw it. We just couldn't put our finger on it. And like I said, I'm sitting here, I'm watching my cat just destroy my house right now, because I swear he already knows. It's a deal and it's an offering, because as they hear it, they're like, I just got to. I just couldn't even see it coming whatsoever. So when I look at this and I say it's healing, it's hope, it is hostage, it is renewal, it is go about it and see about it and like D about a day. It literally means go get the DEA in the DA, because the breaking of this partnership and this celebration and whatsoever really came through on the basis it was dictatorship of a source to make it known that they couldn't hear the message, that you had to be like a super psychic and almost a witch to get it done. I said, no, it's right there. They say it until they're blue in the face, and then they stop talking. They're like, you know what? You're just not even listening. Flip it on. So when I see it and I say, the Knight of Pentacles in reverse has no prudency or action toward it. So it really had to come through. It really did. Well, let's take a look at another deck. What else do we need to know? All right. Another tarot. So this one is a little bit of a blow up in your face. It really is a harsh ending. It really is this like Knight of Cups in reverse. Like it's really nasty emotions. It's going to cause chaos. It really is. And when I look at it, and I have to say, there is no going about it whatsoever. And I'm hearing it, and I'm like, should we do this? No, don't come at them too fast, because it gives like a warning. Like the energy of these people, like, no, we're really happy to see you, but please don't touch us. Please don't go near us for too long, because we're literally crawling out of our skin and popping out of our skin. It really was not well thought of. It really had this like type of addiction or like inhibition or anything of that. It really wanted to be liberated, but I was really unhappy of the way of everything was and the winds of change, that it was weak. It was very weak. And then when I see it, I see the recklessness of whatever this energy is. And this is just energy. That's all I'm seeing it as. That this Four of Wands comes through. And it's like, you can't even get together because it's cold and flu season. But really, it is a ride into victory. It really is. Because when I see this Three of Pentacles, It is apprenticeship. It is skilled work. It is learning something new. Even if it's like, I've never done this before. And like, I don't even have a license or a badge. And why are you bringing me in here? And it says, because we're greedy. We're a little, like we hog at. You couldn't even believe it. Bankrupt. Like, we'll bankrupt us. You did so well. But really, I have to say, there is no monetary balance. I'm seeing this in multiple states, in multiple countries. There was something that was discovered that was so happy that they were able to do it. So when I see this Wheel of Fortune in reverse, there really was no luck about it. It was just people who just couldn't even understand that when we look at this and you say, you couldn't even see it coming, so honorable, that it really becomes this marriage and it becomes this partnership so hard and so deep that it's like throwing energy at me. And he goes, you just couldn't even believe it whatsoever. So when you do it in playful, there is no struggle, but you really have to count out. And when you go 32, 91, 43A, you have to say, I already know. Hidden motives. When I see this, there was no deal on the table. You couldn't even do anything. So you had to take a lax. And then you had to do additives. And then you had to do everything and anything and something, nothing. This is no justice whatsoever on the table. And so when you look at it, you're like, no, I'm throwing it down. I can't even be you. You can't even like lure me. You can't even make me crazy. You can't even see it because I heard it. Now pay attention and make a comment and pay up because we're literally giving you a show or entertainment. We're like, we couldn't even see it coming. But really, when we look at it, it is a free will choice. We're just playing around. The securement to lack of securement comes in so hard that you couldn't even see it coming. When I look at it, I say, oh my God, you can't even be it whatsoever. When I see it, I say, the offering, nope, give them everything. That's all you need to know. And so when you see it, you're like, I don't know why. They're attuned. They're aligned. They're intuitive. They're instinctive. They're well balanced, the King of Cups. They sit alone, not together, and not in a sit-in. So when I see it, I go, the Nine of Pentacles has no prudent way of thought that would come in. And when I see it and I go, this getting together is none, but really we're not supposed to know each other. It really is a fated meeting. Like I said, it comes in over the next 9 weeks. It's so hard. You can't even believe it on the TV. You go, what? They want to meet. You can't even believe it. They're like, your hostages are coming in. And they want to eat meat again. That's a good sign. It comes in so fast, you can't even believe it. So when I look at this and I see the Seven of Wands come through in reverse, there's no struggle. There isn't. It really hurts. It really was a crossroads to all of it coming through. That you have to say, everyone did well in the collective, working hard on everything. So as I see the demise of like thousands of federal workers globally to everything, I have to say, I think it was due. It hurts. Because when I see this Page of Pentacles in reverse, it goes through and you go, I can't even believe it. It's too young of an offer. It can't even sit well on the table to solidify. Look at it's ink water. It's ink water. Ink water is just Vesta powder. With you just might as well like write it with flour. So when I see the Queen of Wands, I go, you can't even believe what will come through. The Queen of Wands sits nobly usually, but this is in reverse. There you go. I feel like a repeat and repeat, but that is just me. That's just me. That's how I am. This is the Hermit. It really is like a soft reflection. So I'm seeing this in the way that I'm speaking. It really is still occulted, obscured, to where it becomes absurdities. That is again the Eight of Swords in reverse. All right. Let's look at another deck. What do we need to know? What do we need to know? Animal Spirit Oracle, what do we need to know? I see a Gaston Ray. I see a Del Monte Witch's Brew. I see some heinous reviews. That is such old lingo that you have to stop talking about it. When I see this, the spider, cobwebs. Literally cobwebs. You gotta dust your feet off. When I see the vulture, I say, holy moly, all is amok. When I see the whale, it is the frequency. It is the hertz. It is everything of the energy of the collective right now that's actually like getting the block away from everything. When I see the hyena in reverse, it is no jackal, but it is a hide that comes in, an HYDE. And when I see the oyster, I go right to the manifesto of New York, to the Monopoly game. And I say, why was it taken away? What's going on? Because like we've talked about up here, they want to stop anesthesia in Connecticut because it was too long of a surgery. The denial forms are coming in. You can't even get a joke in with insurance or nursing or anything. And then you actually say, you're outsourcing. And I have to say, the elk in reverse, yeah, like we've talked about, there's been like this exodus. There's plenty of people who want to do these jobs, but they just can't do it anymore. They still hold licensure and badge. So when I see it, I go, the dragon, the elk in reverse, just sit and stay put. Just sit, just watch. Just watch. The gazelle is really saying it, where you can't even do it hard enough, where you can't even be hard enough, on a type of push out feeling of you overstayed your visit. And it goes, no, I didn't. But how is that pertinent? How is that pertinent? We're solid. So let's go to the poker cards. I'm just an LPN. But you're a good nurse. Always remember that. You're a good nurse. Are you a good nurse or a bad nurse? I'm a good nurse. Doesn't matter if I'm an RN or an LPN. There we go. Here we go. Now, the Ace of Clubs literally alludes to a lot of things where you couldn't even do it hard enough, where you couldn't even see it hard enough. And that is the energy in the collective. But let's look a little bit harder and a little bit deeper. When I'm looking at it and I see the Queen of Diamonds, this Ace of Clubs goes, it really is like a getting together of a club in their own way at times, positively, because you can think of someone and you're right there. That's the power of the mind. But when you see the Queen of Diamonds, it goes, I already know what to do. And it's legal. Absolutely legal. Here we go. When I see this and I go, the King of Clubs comes in and goes, no, it was a for sure sign that it was there. When I see this Five of Spades, it really is hate. It really is a crime to sit and just watch. But really it isn't at the same time, because the Two of Hearts goes, there is a partnership going on that you can't even see it coming. When you look at the Queen of Diamonds, you go, you can't even believe how hard it is to get it out on what they are doing. The Six of Hearts goes, what are they doing? Well, I just don't know. I just don't know. But it is a good get together. When I see the Jack of Diamonds, it goes, there's really no getting together. Let's try to, it's a ring-a-ling of a ding-a-ling of a bellhop to be it done, a DUM. When I see this and I say, time froze lapse, you go, DONE. When I see the Seven of Spades, it goes, no, no, no. There really is no new. It really is pertinent. But here we do. All right. Let's go to the Akashic Tarot. What else can we dig out into this? There is something. All right. The treasure. The treasure means it's hidden. It's a big find. It will cause like an energy imbalance of something. Saying how community, it feels like odds ends of what was surrounding it. Like I said, it wasn't on the same page or anything like that. When I see this, it came right out, the Akashic field. This energy disturbance that actually comes in, and it's really like astrological. It has views of the ego. It really is opposing at times, because that's why we had the card the Ascent in reverse. So when I actually look at it, and it's the King of Forces and the Queen of Forces in reverse, they're on the same page. Like, they're not together. You need them all together. Planetary measure. Everything aligned where it needs to be in a certain month. So we had Aquarius. I don't know why I feel Capricorn. And then I look and I say, it really should be Pisces. But then I hear Sagittarius comes in. That is the unknown path. Fated meeting. It's not. It was planned. But we're having a fated event. Waterfall is going to come in far and hard. Far and hard. When I see the increscent moon, you literally got to look at the phases of the moon. You can't even believe it whatsoever. Starseed Oracle. Okay. Pleiades energy, visionary, inspired ideas, big picture. I mean, this comes in the like creativity. It is everywhere. It is everything. It is where it's supposed to be. It really goes bringing unconsciousness to light, seeing potential in everything. Like, no, piece this together and this together and this there. Look at, we got 6 warrants for an arrest. had that happen. It took me 6 years. It's taking me 30. How'd you do that? I don't know. But look at he literally, like, we've been trying that for like 2 decades. How'd you get 10,000 people laid off? Really, it was unique. It was letting something be seen. It was a bigger idea. And you're sitting there and you're like, have to rest from the, it's like energy sickness. Energy sickness. You can't even believe it. Devotion, potency, making your life a moving prayer just by going about. It was heard. When you look at it and you say, light worker, star seed, serve the world by being you, it was just being a citizen, being everything and anything and something nothing. I went to the grocery store and I came out an officer. I didn't even know that. So when I looked at it and it said soul gifts and training and it's time to step up, I knew it. I was called. I knew it, but I can't run. So when I look at it and I say Horus energy, protection, loyalty, safety, trust, there is protection everywhere. It doesn't feel safe. So when I look at it and I say spontaneous awakening, activation, integration, it'll blend right through. Don't worry, it'll just blend right through. Okay. And you go, really? And I'm like, yep. So when you look at it and you go, absorbing what is not yours, a lot of law enforcement and military did that, especially healthcare workers. All of a sudden we come home and we're like, don't talk to us. Why? Because we got to get it out, whatever it was. So when you look at it and you're longing for home and homesick for the stars, I bet you any money at this time, we're like exhausted. Oh Lord, slow down, time and nature. How are you going to do that when it's like a snowstorm, an ice storm? New solutions and new beginnings. I knew it. All right, next deck. Here we go. Pleiadian Oracle. Here we go. What do we need to know? There it is. And I'm looking at this and I'm seeing sacred geometrics. I'm seeing eye light. I'm seeing light. I'm seeing a type of light that's rare. It's really hard light. I see a stare and I'm looking and I'm seeing there's something in this. You have to look again, like almost like, really. It really is. And you go, you can't even believe it at all. Maya, volcano erupt, like it will erupt at some point in the next weeks. When I'm seeing this again, the wolf. You have to say, true or not? When I'm seeing this, is like, I feel like this is a trolling of the universe where they dropped down again. I don't know. I feel that's derogatory. It's something about taking chances. When I see it, cosmic unity, everyone's on the same page. When I see Pacal's tomb, look at Aztec calendar, Mayan calendar, and ritual aspects. It'll make sense. There's something about star family soul family. When I see it crystalline grids, you can't even like make or believe it up. When I see this service, like you can't even see it coming. Can't even say it. You can't even. All right. Literary Witches Oracle. Again, old. You got spider on the split of the deck. You got 3 bees. It is a coming together. It's going to feel like fantasy. That's Emily Bronte. Here we go. When I see this devotion, keep at it. Keep at it and chisel away. Those who love puzzles, those who love listening at the radio, those who love watching the TV. Some people might write or they might draw or do artwork. They sit and they meditate. They're like, I got it. And they literally say it. It is something of an offering, of a give to, of a go to, of a white glove service. When you see it and you go, the wolf, this one's being a little bit blocked. It means I am not supposed to see it whatsoever. It was a hard block. The chicken lore, folk lore. When I'm seeing transference, stones. It has to do with the soul. And it's happened before in history, 1969. The peacock will come out and literally show its colors, but it's like beknownst to known. To known. It's so old that you can't understand it at all. Like, I haven't seen that or heard that in a while. Like, what is this? Holy cow. All right. Here we go. This is one's a little bit harder to see. It is instinct. It is luck. It is a gift. It's a piece together gift. It's going to bring in a lot of joy. It really is. It's a going away, like party type of thing. It's so disgusting that you have to sit there and say, did you really just say that? Like when you see it, you hear like torch and you hear like throat and you say, yeah, that's been happening. When I see Rhino, it's energy thrown. It's really just try to stay away from the wind and then like cover your throat. It's really old practices. It's something about causing a freeze. Because I keep doing this, I'm like, oh, it's bitter in my mouth. It will flow through well because I see Lagu, but when we're watching everything, I really do feel like you can actually see it in the ocean. It has to do with a type of instance that occurs on currents. Hi, Ishika. So when I see this, it is like continuance. So when I'm saying trolling, it's continuance. It flows in. When I see this, I'm seeing almost like a scurry about, which means these runes don't want to talk about it anymore. Let's try another. Here it is. Instinct. Like instinct, you go somewhere and like, I saw it. I'm seeing it right now. You can't even believe it. All right, wood runes. What are we going to do? It's going well. It's going well. All right. It'll come in at night. It will come in hard, you can't like see it going or hard. I feel like oil riggers have seen it. When I see this, it's like, oh yeah, yeah. So let's talk about like Davy Jones' locker, because I kept hearing the Kraken today. So let's actually give like a little bit of a definition. Davy Jones' locker, just to reiterate, is a type of a lockup that someone who is a warlock can do on someone who is a criminal. You have to be very careful. When you see the Kraken, it is a hex. Usually they do the Kraken first because you have to crack to get into them, to do an in, to do a lock. You can't do a whole lot of things, but there's like a 3-step rule. But when Davy Jones used to do it, because it was coined, you had to sit and you had to be about. You literally got to be like, oh my God, I can't believe it. How is it? It's like these individuals come through and they say, no, I heard it living. Like, how did you actually go through that whatsoever? And then when I hear lockjaw, I'm like, what are you doing? How did you learn how to do that? That's not Kraken or Davy Jones locker. That's nothing. That is just nothing. So when I look at it and you go, this is not even it. It is a gift though. Go ahead. Go ahead and ask a question. It's defensive. Asking a mediumship. What do we gotta know? What do we gotta know? I can't hear. What do we need to say no to? Don't smoke a cigarette. Don't get a cup of coffee. Don't get a cup of water. Sit and have juice. And then sit and have like, I hear juice, like almost like soda. I'm like, soda pop? No, can't have soda pop. When I look at it and I go, you can't even believe it whatsoever. It's like a trend that's so awful that like us in our 30s and 40s are laughing because they're like, we already know. You can't even believe it. Like, they're warrior though. They're warrior. Let's see. So with that question, because it is a healthcare question, I'm just going to leave it out just a little bit. It's like timing on the healing. It really is the winter. It really is hard. It's like cement. It really is like the cement in the apparatus of like the securement that you can't get rid of. It's like this feeling of like, is it done healing? Like, am I at PT again and OT? It just won't go through. I would check on that. There's something about it, and I see wealth, but not really. It really was not supposed to happen. I would take it with grace, but when I see this, I'm seeing heritage. Check your culture. Check your heritage. Check everything with a fine-tuned comb. When I look at it and I go, oh my God, the instinct whatsoever, I would check again with your surgeon and everything diligently. That's all I have to say as an LPN who works in the field, especially with all those type of surgeries. Power. There's something about power with it. Okay. Moving on. That's all you need to know. But I do. I see 1, 2, September, October. You're welcome. All right. White Sage Tarot, and then we'll look at the crystal quartz and look to see with the scrying. There's something strong, definitely politics. When I see this, it is a struggle. When I see this, the Ten of Wands, it really is going to be a burden. It really had to do with a coming together and a yay hooray of a source. When you see it like there's no like psychic or counterintuitive, like there's no luck about it. When you see it and you go, I can't even believe you. We're on the same page. It really is nothing. It's like you knew it. No, like it wasn't until it was in my face. So when I see it, I say that is where the actual like offer on the table goes. When I see it, the communication will come in. You can't believe it whatsoever. Five of Pentacles, it alleviates loss. Alleviates loss. There it is. So when I'm looking at it, I actually really can't see it, but I hear it and I feel it. It really comes through in a way unknown, and then it's an offer on the table, and you can't even believe who it is. When you actually see it and you actually go like, I can't believe that whatsoever, that it comes through so hard that you have to do a poker deal. And when you do a poker deal, you actually go and you're like, no, deal me out because I'm done. And when you go and you're done, you say, no, I've been through this before. These two runes came out. It really is something that will just like flow right through. I'm seeing a 3 to 9, 3 to 9. So when I see this, it does have to do with hard wealth. Hard wealth. When I'm doing this, it's like, it's an old sign of get it out of me. I can't even stand it. And they throw it right away. Throw it right away out. So with that being said, there's really nothing else. Let's see. Healthcare, it's coming through. Federal agencies, sit and stand still. Law enforcement, be still and be weary and be leery. And then when I hear military, it is stand through and be about. Like literally be about. You'll understand it. Schools, stand out. When I hear everything else, be about, stand out, know it out, and see it out. Like it's going to come through and you're like, no. And you're looking like, this is literally the golden ticket. Literally the golden ticket. You can't even believe what's in front of you. And that's all you need to know. So with that being said, any questions or concerns, leave a comment or an email. A like and a share is greatly appreciated. And we'll talk to you soon and have a good night.